Welcome back here to Radio Free Radford on this week edition. We're doing things here a little bit later on the week. As you know, we have been taking some time off to get some more interviews scheduled. So today we've been working behind the scenes to get some interviews. And today we're speaking with one of the organizers that held the the Bigger Picture Mark. Devante Mosley joins me here at this afternoon. Good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Not doing too bad. What about yourself?
I'm doing well. Appreciate making some time today. I know things have been all out of the loop here recently. So all right, so we'll get to know you a little bit, where you're from, where your major, your graduation year.
Yeah, so I'll just say I'm from Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm a junior, majoring in media production, and I'll graduate in 2022.
All right, well, not that far off then, it looks like right there.
Not too
There
bad.
you go. So before we get right into the main topics here, you're also part of a couple of other organizations here on campus. Let's talk about what your membership is and how long you've been involved with those.
Yeah, so I'm a part of our space along with MPHC and along with my fraternity as well. So those are the three.
All right, cool deal. So, and then, all right, so let's get right to things here. So, as you know, recently on September the 19th, Radford University held the Are You the Bigger Picture Mark? And of course, it made a lot of backlash because of what was going on with coronavirus guidelines. But it looked like we were out there putting a stand to what we're made to. So let's give a little bit about intel. What was the march about, and why was this so important to see our student body come together?
And seeing our equality as long as the student body can come together and protest peacefully. So that's what it was about in essence. And with that, just understanding that we can gather peacefully in here at Radford.
Absolutely. Of course, like I said, the little bit of backlash came out because of the coronavirus, but there was guidelines in place. Everybody masked up. Socially distancing was impact too. So how did you personally feel about the attendance when you saw the outcome that day?
I thought it was great. I feel like people properly did what they had to do to be safe. Everyone wore their masks, so I felt great. I felt like it was a great event, and everyone abided by what we needed to get it done.
All righty. And of course, maybe if you could give a little bit of a message for those who may have felt, I don't know, a little uncomfortable of going out there, what would you have said to them and why they should have came on out?
For one, we support everyone who was out there, along with the Black and brown community, and along with our allies. And if you were to feel uncomfortable, I'm sorry. That's what we feel as Black people every day.
All righty. So we got that said message across, and hopefully maybe the next event or whatever there'll be in the future, maybe more students will come out and take a look at that too. So we're switching gears now to the coronavirus. Did you have any fear about with the pandemic going on that the event would have not have been as big as it would have turned out to be?
No, I knew people would support. I knew the university would support, and when they did, that was great for us. I knew individuals would support and come out and do it safely and by the rules we put in place.
Okay. So we're going on now to the coronavirus itself. So obviously the last 7 months have been this new virtual aspect of things and wearing masks and following CDC guidelines. So let's go back to March to find out, of course, how was your reaction when you found out that we're not coming back to school anymore and this is actually going to happen? How did you feel and what was going through your mind?
It was kind of in awe, like a movie. Like, wow, like this is really happening. You watch movies about stuff happening, and it was like, wow, this is really happening. So it was crazy, but you have to adjust at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, of course, the online aspect of things, were you a fan of the online classes? And, of course, as you know, they are continuing to go on. Was that something that you just felt right fit, or did you prefer to be in the in-person with the class?
I prefer to be in person. I'm not an online learner, but you have to adjust and figure out how to make it best for yourself. So, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of an obstacle.
Absolutely. Yeah. Same way too. The online is not something I want to be in, but I want that one-on-one. You kind of miss the aspect of just being not in the classroom, but your fellow classmates too, you know?
Yeah, you do.
So, absolutely. So what is something that you have now gained from the last 7 months to something that you would have probably never thought of about doing or maybe putting on?
I feel like the march still would have happened with everything happening, but I think I improved my patience and being kind of more patient and understanding and looking at things from a different perspective, as we all have to do during these times, and kind of in that just patience more so.
Yeah, that's a very good virtue, and I'm sure many people will discover their patience is not as tight-knit as you think you really are. You get to know your true self is the way I see it, you know, too. So, All right, now, of course, continuing on to some modern subjects here with the obviously the police versus the public. As you know, we witnessed a number of just craziness unroll over the last several months. Before we get to some of the main topics, do you think all police officers are good and bad? And if so, how?
Well, for one, I know for a fact that all police officers are not bad. And that is a thing that I hold dear to me. My uncle was in law enforcement for over 15 years. And there's a percentage of police officers who are not good and who are corrupt. But in that, we just have to understand that they're not all bad. They are good individuals out there, and police officers and communities who affect that community in a positive way. But you do have bad apples, you do. And the bad apples make it look like all of them, the whole tree is bad. But no, I do not personally think that all police officers are bad. There are individuals who are horrible human beings who kill people for no reason and get no justice served to them. And that's not right at all.
Yeah, I'm sure some could probably testify to that answer too. And, even experiencing something of that, it's just kind of like, what really did that actually just happen? So now our next question here, of course, we saw a lot of people, unfortunately, of color were impacted by that. What, as a person of an individual, what was going through your mind when you saw this, for example, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor and things of that? How are you processing this?
It is very sad, and I pray for their families, and I pray that they get justice. Breonna Taylor's killers have not been convicted or just rightfully convicted of what they should have been. Personally, how I feel, but I feel sorry for their families. But we get affected like this every day. It just so happened that nowadays things are caught on camera and can be, shown in court. Is just what happened. And little justice that comes for that, even if it's caught on camera, what has really come from that? So we need to fix a lot of things in our judicial system.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, the equality is what we really need right now, especially when we're dealing with a massive pandemic that is just taking too many lives way too soon. And then you think about this as two pandemics, because unfortunately a racial pandemic and then a deadly pandemic.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. I know it's so much to process. So maybe what are ways that Americans, like you said, how can we come together and unite so we can stop all this from happening? What would be a proposed something if you get to maybe our government officials, especially right now, they're in the midst of an election going on? What would you say to those people?
For one, justice, to serve justice properly to people who've been killed. For two, just seeing us as humans, our humanity.
Yeah, of course. And like I said, it's just you have to carefully examine what you watch and what you monitor, because not everybody may agree with you, but they may have some opposing differences of what you may say. So, and now finally, another important question for our younger generation. I know this is the next 10, 20 years from now. As they're witnessing this, how do you think they can make a difference? And in what ways do you think preventing the next mass, whatever it may be, how do you think the next younger generation can come together?
They have to be better than us. We have to be better than our prior generations as they put in the work and lay the foundation. We're building upon that foundation, and the next generation has to continue to fight on and fight for equality and our human rights, our basic human rights. And they have to be better than us. And it's simply that easy.
Absolutely, for sure. I know as a 5, 6-year-old, 7-year-old child watching the news of a horrific something happening, I'm sure that they're traumatized because they don't know what's going on, but you have to hopefully have some type of faith in with them that they're going to go on and make the bigger difference. We see the brighter smiles, Lisa said, Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to tell our viewers relating to the pandemic, or any other things, personal messages you'd like to give out to anybody?
Stay safe, wear a mask. Let's all get through this together. Stay focused. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. That's more than most people are probably saying that right now. The only thing we can't say. So, Devante, I appreciate you making time today, and hope all is well with you. And if there are any other events going on, we'd be more than happy to showcase them here in Student Media. And best to you, my friend.
Best to you as well.
All right, thank you. So we're going to have this interview running up here sometime this week. Be sure to stay tuned and check out any of the other organizations if you have an interest in joining there with Devante's, and you could be more than happy to get part with them. We'll also tag them on our social media pages as well as in the description in this video. Until next time, who knows will be the next guest. I hope you have a wonderful week, and remember, folks, to stay safe.